Welcome back. We are here for the Between Lilacs in the Dark, episode 19. So, we had left off in around dusk phase. Larrabee rolled the quickening, so you raised it from a 7 to a 10, taking on the Mask of Dissociation. Mask of Dissociation. Each hunter narrates a time they felt like a stranger in their own body. Now that I think about it, it's like, did you use the Mask of Dissociation to raise that? Okay. I don't think we're supposed to be able to do that for the quickening because it's doesn't have to do with the threat. So, I mean, I'm not even
I don't
I at this
remember. I
point,
don't remember why we used it. We had a couple of like back to back to back
yeah. I
masks.
mean, like I have it listed after the quickening, so that's why I was like is it associated with bumping the quickening up? So that's why I was curious because I mean, it really should have to do with, the actual threat itself when you're using the threat mask. But you
Oh,
know what?
okay.
At this stage of the game, I
I
don't freaking care. I don't care.
I was going to say I didn't remember that rule, but I mean, if you if you want, I can mark a mask of the past instead if we want to if we want to be following the rules, and that way we could save the that we could save the dissociation in case we need it in a night move
Doing Saint Cecilia's, I mean, the King in
when we're
Shadows.
doing
Sorry,
the King in Shadows.
that's up to you. I mean, like I said, I don't care at this point. It's like we're so
I
close to
mean,
the end. I'm like,
I have a remarkable number of masks available as we go into the end game, so I am actually fine with. I'll go ahead and mark. Why don't we if it's okay with retconning, why don't we unmark the Mask of Dissociation? That way we have it
mhm,
available to us, during the night phase when we're dealing with the King in Shadows.
mhm.
And I'm going to go ahead and mark my next. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mark the Cosmic Passage instead.
Okay,
I don't have to. I don't have to narrate anything. It's just things are getting weirder.
okay,
That bumps my sensitivity by one, and it lowers my reason by two.
okie dokie. Alrighty, so going through that, and we decided to do a London night phase, of course. So we're going to have the an unseen as you traipse about London, handling the King in Shadows. But you also answered another question. So thanks to Gareth Kellogg, yes, you're going to be able to do another night phase and hopefully solve the Saint Cecilia's problem as well with the another unseen going with that. But we'll deal with that when that comes up. So, so before we get you guys set up for where you're getting ready to either mess up the play or fulfill your roles, let's go ahead and see what the Empire Club has for us. The Empire Club is situated in a grand townhouse just off St. James's Square. Membership is popular among young aristocratic sons of lower birth order, many of whom have traveled to or profit from holdings abroad. Select invitations have been granted to those of less esteemed breeding who have managed to make their mark, and a small fortune, overseas. It boasts card games till the early hours of the morning, cooks from the four corners of the world, and plentiful bedrooms for those far from home or avoiding their family. Tall tales and business deals alike are shared over brandy and cigars. So, first prompt is to paint the scene for everyone. Second prompt will be Clint. Third prompt will be Mike. And fourth prompt will be Kim. Okay? Let's go ahead and establish this first for the unseen. And remember, again, echo in the night. Like, if you want to have some tie back between the unseen and your hunter scenes and vice versa. All right, so paint the scene. Beyond the wood-paneled walls and leather armchairs, what signs of masculinity and power are on display here?
I think you see a great deal of taxidermy, explicitly of um, large and fanged fish.
There's a table in the back that has three guys sitting at it, and two of the guys are locked arms, grunting and like like heaving and hawing as they're arm wrestling each other. The one in the middle is goading them along.
In addition to the taxidermy, there are many paintings that adorn the walls of, like a fox hunt, soldiers at war, bare-chested sailors on a ship. Um, just very many paintings of, many paintings of manly men being manly.
All right. So you're headed off to the headed off to Little Blackbirds to, you know, finish this off as your I assume your the last performance or make it the last performance of of the um the play. So, how are you guys handling this?
If I recall, we were going to take part in this reenactment or this tonight's show.
Hmm.
And I think me and Wild Rose and perhaps Jack, if he shows up, we're not going to show up until the third act. But I think Doctor uh, is our main character. Yes.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, I think we're all showing up to like watch the whole play, but it's going to be the third act where we're going to like rise from our seats and join the play.
Or what if we're even already backstage?
Ooh, I like
Like
that.
we are in costume. We are being made up. What do you think of that?
I think we described a chorus.
Hmm.
And they're all fully masked. And I was
Yes.
wondering if we want to start off as chorus members and then just
Oh,
break
I
out of
love
the
that.
chorus.
We're all just
I
like doing
love
this bit.
that. Yes, we'll get dressed up and join the chorus. If that means we have done like if that means we have like a brief montage sequence of us like like waylaying three members of them and then like taking their costumes, then
I
sure.
have some narrative chloroform. I don't think we're
Narrative chloroform. Love that.
well, I don't
Yes.
think we actually are rolling to chloroform them this
No,
time, but
I'm okay with that.
I mean, and I also have two guns. Like, you there, you go in this closet and you lock yourself in and stay very quiet, or I will be angry. But
oh
I
no,
like the
I think
chloroform idea.
chloroform is much
Chloroform's
hijinks
better.
here.
Chloroform's better. Let's do it.
Sorry, I gotta write this down. Narrative chloroform. Okay. Okay. So, you have waylaid three of the members of the brain. Three members of the chorus, like you're doing what they're doing, like you're mimicking like everything that they're doing in terms of the narrations. And from your first viewing of the play, I mean, like some of it's nonsensical and some of it's just like pretty much just by rote. You can almost like tell what they're going to say because it's so simple or it's expected given what's on the stage, right? So, you got the first act, it's like, very simple, like you hear like, oh my gosh, it's like the terrible deaths of her family. And then like, second act, it's like, rowing down the imaginary river and an imaginary boat with imaginary oars and all this kind of stuff. How do you like insert yourselves into the third act?
As whoever's playing the dirty woman comes on stage, I
Hmm.
will drop my robe, take off my mask. I think I'm probably just wearing street clothes under it. Like I'm going to do the play in street clothes, and I will just tap the person doing the dirty man role or dirty woman role on the shoulder and go, "Excuse me, um, I think you're in my place."
The journey woman will stare at you with dark eyes. And when I say dark eyes, I mean like eyes that are starting to go, what's the word? Like black is like starting to fill like, even her sclera and such. So I would like you to make a night move, doctor. Um,
Okay.
because things are getting creepy and weird. So,
And what am I rolling?
you're rolling sensitivity for this. But basically, what do you think will happen if you fail or lose your nerve trying to get the journey woman to give up her place?
I think it'll end up in a fight.
Okay. I think the way it's worse is that they're going to show you something that you probably didn't think that you're going to see on the stage. Like, you want her to give up her place, in which case, you're going to see something in the shadows where it looks like she's going to take your place and take your child from you.
Okay.
So, sensitivity, please. 2d6.
Let's see, do I have sensitive? I feel like I do. Yes, +1. 5. I feel like I should put a mask on.
Well, I mean, we have the mask of dissociation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shall I put on the mask of dissociation? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use the mask of dissociation.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's a pretty intensely low roll.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rich Dice.
Oh boy. Yeah,
Some disassociation, please.
Okay. So yeah. Disassociation is each hunter narrates a time they felt like a stranger in their own body. So now it comes into play. But it's 7 to 9, so you do succeed, but there will be a complication to this. Are you just just ask her to step aside? I mean, like, what are you thinking as she's, as you're asking her this, but you see her eyes like go all black?
I kind of feel like we've been drawn here, so I'm not really expecting much pushback. Like, I think the play wants to eat us, so. And so the black eyes sort of seem more proof of that than anything, than a warning.
Well, I mean, like, she smiles a little bit as you seem to keep your composure, and she will lean forward as she makes her way, giving up her spot, and then she's going to say as she passes you, it's like, be careful. The play can just as easily take you as well. And so, condition.
World's a stage.
Okay. Go for it. But that is your condition. All right.
Oh, look, that's 3 conditions. I didn't know that.
Oh, shit.
I thought I only had 2.
Let's go ahead and see what are you two doing before I switch over to the next unseen?
Lady Ross Carter has taken up position over by one of the underwater murals, and she is getting ready to make her entrance as the Duchess.
And Ms. Larrabee is still with the chorus, still has the mask on, still has the weird still has the black robe on over her usual attire. I think the only thing that might make the audience members realize there might be something wrong, might be something like a little oddball, is that she is wearing like all of the other members of the chorus are wearing black patent leather shoes, and she's wearing her cowboy boots, but robe goes down to the ankles, so that's no one's going to notice that.
Yeah.
but she's got the white, she's got like the, she's got, what did we say, they were like sun and moon, they were like moon masks, if I remember
There were a
correctly.
bunch of different masks, I think. We are about to pick some.
I think the chanting will get a little bit louder as you take your place in the journeywoman's spot before the 3 come out to play per se. And so go to the next unseen. Clint, A boisterous game of cards is played by some of the young bucks. Amidst the bluff and bluster, how do we see the differences between those with great wealth and noble blood, and those with only one or the other?
So we see a scene. It's little bit later on in the night. There's a group of guys all around a card table, and there's like a layer of smoke above, and they're all in the middle of a particular hand of cards, and there's already a stack of chips on the table, and some of the guys are all out of chips, while the other ones are still just throwing money in. And then they start to like berate the ones who are out of money that cannot ante up anymore. They cannot meet the call. And one of the guys, his name is Radshire, very proper young man, but also a total dick. He starts to really like pick at one of the guys. He goes, "Oh, can't afford to call? You can't go off and sell off a few more luxury items to add?" And he presents the idea that I will front you the money, but you will have to perform for me later tonight. Perhaps you'll have to sing me a song. And then they call and they all lay out their cards. And uh, Bratcher won. So all the other guys who lost must sing him a song later.
The third act is starting to become confusing again as the approach of the Duchess, the Prince, and the Knave come into play. So, do you change the way that you saw their entrances before, or are you trying to stick with it within your best ability?
I think Lady Ross Carter perfectly mimics exactly what she saw during the last performance. So much so that probably no one is none the wiser. I think what she does is she comes out and she does a swoon, and she does a another swoon towards the other side of the stage, and she comes up and she like lays down in front of the journeywoman's feet in front of the at the at the boat.
And as Larrabee and as the knave enters, and like just as the knave is entering the stage, Larrabee like steps out of the the sort of like the Greek chorus, pulls off her mask, like throws off her robe, looks to the actor playing the knave, pulls a gun, points it right at the knave, and says, I am the greater knave than you have ever been, my friend. I suggest you leave now."
I think the Knave will slowly raise their hands up, but then like as they're raising their hands, they are slowly approaching you. But then their steps get quicker as they approach you, and then I think they will remove their mask very carefully, and you see, let's see how you roll first. Night move. What do you think? What do you think will happen if you fail or lose your nerve when they remove their mask? What do you think you'll see if you fail?
I think I'm afraid that I'm going to see the face of someone that I thought was an ally and I thought wasn't particularly someone I don't particularly want to commit violence against. That's what I'm afraid of, is that I'm gonna have to fight somebody that oh yeah, I know. God, what was her name? The the knave that we didn't know this because the knave normally performs with a mask, and we didn't know that My sort of paramour Marie Litton is the was actually playing the knave, unbeknownst to me. So when she pulls the mask off, it's Marie. That's what I'm afraid of.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think the way it's worse is you're going to see yourself.
I'm going to see myself.
Mm-hmm. So,
I love it.
all right. So, sensitivity, of course, because this is King in Shadows. So, what the hell? Um, yeah, 2d6 plus your sensitivity.
Well, sensitivity is now my good stat since I marked the cosmic passage. Did any of my personal quarters items come into play? I'm thinking probably not. Well, actually, I'm gonna roll with advantage because I'm not shooting it, but I did say that I pointed my gun.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll take it. So, roll with advantage, 3d6 plus sensitivity.
The
Take
highest
two highest.
two,
Mm-hmm.
highest two, and
Oh, nice.
nice. Yeah, that is a 12.
Yep. Okay. So, and I was going to give it to you anyway because you have Cosmic Passage marked. So, you will get a Mastermind clue for this. Just remind me. When you point your gun at them and they raise their hands and they like remove their mask, go ahead and narrate. What do you think you see underneath the mask?
They remove their mask, and the person, it's not someone we've, oh, how's this? They, they remove their, they remove the mask, which was similar to the mask that I was wearing, and they're wearing a smaller mask underneath it. And the smaller mask underneath is a stylized sun,
Mm-hmm.
and the person smiles and says, "Well, perhaps you are a better knave than I have ever been. Be careful what you wish for, my dear." He he bows dramatically, turns and walks off stage.
Nice. All right. And very well in keeping with what the journeywoman said too. I love it. And so I think what I'm going to do for your mastermind clue is that go ahead and put a TBD under mastermind so you guys can make it up when you get to that point for the mastermind question. All right. Next unseen. Mike, two older gentlemen, Sir Mortimer Holland and Colonel Bulstrode, grumble about the lax morals and deficient work ethic of the younger generation. What complaints do they make? And how do we see the envy for their youth?
They're sitting at the bar. They're drinking scotch, or as they call it in England, whiskey with no e. Um, and this is they're probably on their third or possibly fourth, and they're kind of yeah they're animated, and they're animated, and their voices are raised, and their words are ever so slightly slurred, but like, oh, you know these you know these these young people with their uh you know these young people, they come to a club like this where men, like, where we're supposed to prove our virility and our and our strength and our moral character, and they're all off. They go to the theater and they go to the museums, and they spend their time on all those effete pursuits. What are they, French? As they are making these accusations, every accusation, for some people, every accusation is a confession. And you can tell as they're talking about pursuing these like artistic pursuits, um, they're clearly expressing it in the way that I really wish that I could have done that, but that wasn't manly.
Very nice. All right. So you have taken the place of the knave, but the prince doesn't seem to come out. You don't know where Jack is, and you're not sure if he's on his way or what happened to him. So, how do you want to handle this now? You're smack dab in the middle of Act 3, and the chorus chanting starts to sound like you know how it's described in like horror, not like old horror novels, like where the whippoorwills are piping, and it's like they're timing themselves to the heartbeat of someone who's dying. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like going to a fever pitch of what the chorus is doing, and you may not remember whether or not they've done this in the previous showing. But yeah, I mean, it's starting to hit a fever pitch, and you're not sure it's because you guys are disrupting or.
So we were waiting on Jack, and I don't recall seeing him. So I don't know if the person who has now walked out on stage as the prince is Jack or not. But it's not going to stop me.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to approach the prince and extend my hand to him and bow and curtsy and start to dance with them as the play had previously gone. And if I find out it's Jack, game on. If it's not, I will have to deal with that in a different way.
Okay. Alrighty. So, I think as you take this person's hand, and of course, like a crowned mask is what you're seeing. I think.
Jack, is that you?
No answer, but the dark eye holes like start to glow underneath, and from that's not Jack. So
I let out a little gasp.
So
I think we're waltzing around.
right, you can continue to do this and try to risk a night move of some sort, or you can just back away.
I think what I'm going to do is try to take the lead from him.
Okay.
And dance him off to the wings.
Nice.
To where perhaps we have set up a small trap.
Gotcha.
Sorts.
Okay. Night move. What do you think will happen if you fail or lose your nerve?
This person will continue to be the lead, and they will dance me off to the wings.
Yeah, I think they will not only dance you off into the wings, but I think they'll dance you right into the arms of the King of Shadows. Maybe to leave this particular plane, or maybe not, who knows. But anyway, it's going to be more dangerous than just leading this guy off the stage.
So. I'm going to have my flash powder in my hand,
Nice.
ready to make an escape.
Okay. Alrighty. So 3d6, take the two highest, and then sensitivity, because that's weird.
And my sensitivity is a
Hold on. Okay, so I think you're going to be rolling straight because nothing but the dark. Oh, sorry. Wrong one. Never mind. Most beloved will always be against you. Sorry. That's one of the reasons why this is happening.
So. Sorry, am I rolling straight?
Yeah, rolling straight because most beloved
Okay.
is working against your
Okay.
doodad.
How do I okay. I ignore that. Sorry, I was trying to clear it and I hit the wrong button. 2d6 plus 1. I rolled really well.
What the hell?
Oh, that ain't good.
Okay. Yeah. No. Which dice wants to make it really dramatic? So, yeah, I think I'm just gonna say it. But I mean, basically, it's like you try and push or pull this fellow to take the lead, but I mean, like, I think there's something about the glow in his mask or in his eyes
Yeah.
that's just like kind of captivating you now. And you can't have shadows without some light, right? So I think as he dances you into the wings, it's like the light shining from his eye sockets are creating shadows behind you, and the shadow behind you looms long and high, and you hear a very distinct growl that's resonating in your bones. And when you turn, you see a crowned, shadowy, skulled face that will welcome you into itself, welcome you into the dark.
I'm going to click this math button of the past.
Okay.
Bump that up to a 7 to 9, please.
Okay. So that doesn't happen, and you're able to succeed, like, pushing and pulling this guy into the trap. What is the trap comprised of? Like, you set this up beforehand before you guys.
When I said trap, that may have been a little grand. I think
Okay.
it's literally just like I pickpocketed the key to the dressing room, and so
Hmm.
I'm just gonna lock him inside the dressing room. That seems like a viable choice.
Got it.
Because I can only assume that this is just some poor innocent soul who's been sucked into this. I don't want to necessarily hurt them.
Yeah. I mean, it could be. It very much could be. You're not even sure.
Yeah.
But
So yes, I dance him off,
mhm.
lock him in the thing, and just kind of dance myself back on the stage.
Right. But I think before you do, I think, as you turn away from the locked door, and perhaps like you hear like a single against the door, you'll also hear him whisper against the door, "Go ahead and dance away. You will never be able to dance too far away from your own darkness." How does that make you feel?
Uh, Light-footed.
Put that as your condition. And then back to the unseen. Kim, Francis Ackerman has recently returned from the subcontinent. As he retires to the bedroom he has taken at the club, how do we see him drop his stern facade and express his vulnerability?
You see him come into the room, sort of shouting something jocular over his shoulder at someone else who's coming down the hall. Um, he closes the door and he starts to take off all of the sort of accoutrements, cufflinks or waistcoats or whatever. And he just kind of slumps, like he suddenly looks older, more tired, and just kind of shorter. And he's sitting there and he's not doing anything. And you hear a sort of horrific noise at the window. And you see a big old smile cross his face. And he turns around and he opens the window and goes, "You survived, you little demon." And in jumps the ugliest cat you have ever seen. It's like one ear, mangy. Clearly, this cat lives hard on the streets, but just leaps on this man's lap, purring madly. And you see this man genuinely delighted because he left and he thought this cat was surely going to die in his absence. And it didn't. And he looks much happier.
Lovely. So, all three of you have made it onto the stage. How do you wrap this to stave off the King of Shadows' reign, performance, to deter this from continuing? How do you see this end?
the king is
I,
not on stage, correct?
No, not yet.
Okay.
That's usually like the culmination of like, the very ending of the play.
like big picture, I think it would be cool for us to, like basically take control of the play, flustering the other actual members of the cast, and staging it so that the occluded king, so that the occluded king, is ultimately slain. Like the occluded king is, supposed to end in triumph, but in this version of the play, the king is killed. Um, there's it's killed by an act of treachery of by by a combination of like our three characters. If that's cool with the other characters, if that's cool with the other players, that's kind of what I was thinking. Is like if we take control of the play, change the ceremony such that we slay the king on stage, and that's how the play ends with the king, with the occluded king dead, which botches the ritual, ends things, and that's the end. Does
Are
that
we
sound cool?
killing someone?
So
Is there someone around to kill that you're
I
I
mean,
have I have an idea to play off what Mike was just saying. What if part of the original play, uh, the king comes out and to be actually kinged and actually have a crowning ceremony, and the Duchess and the knave are the ones to bestow this, and we do the little knighting, crowning, and a little right after the tap tap crown. Yeah, very dramatic. Everyone will love it.
I love it.
But I think as you like, have decided to do this or like, you've planned to do this, I think the backdrop changes just a little bit. Like, how they have it like on the rolls, the canvas rolls, like they painted them and then they kind of just drop them when they're, ready for the next one or what have you. This particular one drops down and becomes this forest of bare, like long, dark, bare trees, but in some kind of purple mist. And as you're getting ready for the crowning ceremony, you see, like, coming from behind the chorus members, you see someone that is small, wearing shades of purple, and is wearing a mask topped with like a floral hat and a veil, and just seems to be watching and waiting, on the edges, on the periphery of the group, waiting for the ceremony to begin.
And this is a character we have not observed in the play before.
Correct. Basically, since you guys rolled a 12 for this, like last time, like, this is how the mastermind's sort of appearing.
I got it. Yeah.
I'm shocked. That's what's going
I'm
on.
shocked.
I think, though this possibly is a little much, once you guys slit the throat of whoever you're slitting the throat of, I'm gonna take the crown, put it on, and tell the audience the play is over. I'm gonna self-crown and hope that it's not a haunted artifact. That
If
it
you would like,
instead
we can
conveys
even
me.
crown you.
Sure, if you want to take the crown off of the person thing and put it on. I think that somehow I should be at the end facing the audience wearing a crown and telling them that this was the final performance. The play is over for good. If I also shout, "Flee, you fools!"
I imagine it's like you come out and like the lights come up and it's like an equivalent to our town. Like this was Gulliver's Corners or whatever it was, and you give this big speech about. Sorry, too much. No.
Oh no.
Oh no, Clint, keep going.
Oh my gosh.
I don't. Yeah, it's like you. Like we see Doctor Whitford. Uh, kind of wrapping up everything we've just watched as if it had some deep moral and deep thing that we should be taking away from it. But maybe you don't say explicitly it's the last time. Uh because number one rule is keep them wanting more, even if they're not going to get some. Like you could be very cryptic in your monologue about keeping an eye in the dark places for the next bill. Uh, you can give everyone else a little wink, but
Right.
yeah, I don't know.
Maybe this was the last one. Maybe not. Keep watching.
And I think this is where everybody, like, oh, actually, no, you know what? I think to add to this, it's like I think the slow clap begins with the figure in purple, and then the chorus starts to echo the slow clap, and then the audience does. They're a little bit confused, but then they're like, they stand up and give you all a standing ovation, and that's how it goes. And maybe you have roses like tossed at your feet.
Excellent.
as the play
Excellent.
has as the play hath ended, and you
And
will.
the occluded king is slain.
Mm-hmm.
They,
There is a crown. There is a crown at the foot of the stage. Just so you know. Um,
I think Doctor Whitford is in the middle of the curtain call line, and Rose and I are on the other sides. And I look over and I say, "Our night is only half over. We cannot wait for the meet and greet afterwards. Let's sneak out the back."
I don't want to go to the meet and greet. Let's.
Oh, definitely, definitely no.
Yeah, I think we make our exit out the backstage entrance onto the alley behind the theater.
yeah, I think actually when you do that though, I think you'll see that the alley is extremely dark. Like you look up, you don't see stars. You look down the alley, you don't even see like where the street meets the alley's edge, and the street lamps have mysteriously gone out.
I would
Instead,
like to grab the crown, and if there's any purple roses or roses thrown from a creepy person in the backdrop,
sure, that's fine.
go.
But then you will see that there's a single like sconce light like on the in the alley, and a door that says that's marked with a placard, the night tap.
The night tap, the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And we've never seen that before, right?
Nope. Simple pub.
I'm,
It seems we are being herded.
well, I'm generally don't turn down a drink. Since there doesn't seem to be anywhere else to go, I will open the door to the night tap.
Consider this our rap party.
As you go into the night tap, you see the gleam of gold as you enter in, and we will take our break. So, 10 minutes, and then when we come back, we'll do a quick, like, opportunity for you to visit with the night tap, maybe do a vulnerable scene if you want to, like, kind of get rid of some conditions. And then, like, we'll go on to, like, Gareth Kellogg, like, finally finding you and then picking you up to head over to St. Cecilia's. Okay? So we'll go from there. All right, see you in 10. So, you find yourselves going into the Night Tap, a simple pub. Its front facade sits at the back of a dark, obscure alleyway. It is packed with mysterious patrons in featureless gold masks, the air smoky and reeking of beer. Paint the scene. Being here feels like being unstuck in time. What do you experience that makes you feel this way?
My back hasn't stopped hurting once we walked inside. All the aches and pains have gone away.
There's music playing in here, but we don't see any musicians. And what the music that is playing is strange. Like at once it seems almost medieval or Renaissance, and then it sounds almost atonal, con clashing chords, but is also strangely catchy. Like, how would one describe jazz if you'd never heard jazz before?
I think the patrons are a very unusual mix and include among them um, what would look like Dr. Whitford and Dell if they were 20 years older, sitting in a corner eating dinner, and what Lady Ross Carter must have looked like in her 20s, and maybe um, a young Mildred Larrabee off with some other governess.
Amongst all these people, you can get a gander at the bar, which is the far end of the room, and there is a barman that is there, and kind of like just like slowly wiping out like some glasses or some mugs at the bar. But again, like it's packed full of these people that are wearing these masks, and even if they're drinking or eating, the masks don't come off. But you see them like bringing the mug to their lips, bringing the mask to where their mouths would be, or like lifting a utensil to where their mouths would be, and the food disappears. It looks like the drink has gone someplace, but you don't know where because the masks are featureless. So odd. But you do manage to find seats if you do want them, stools at a table. So you can talk amongst yourselves. You can try to talk to some of these patrons, or the barman or whatever. But yeah, this is your opportunity to take a little bit of respite before Gareth comes and finds you all vulnerable.
Well, this
Right.
place is. I've been to some mighty strange taverns in my day, but this is. And she looks around warily. This one is definitely the strangest.
What
I
would
think Dr. Whitford is just swat like it's an unsubtle use of my vice, but I am absolutely fascinated by trying to figure out how these people are alive and eating and just like when people talk, I'm sort of do the like I've forgotten to engage with my table mates because this is fascinating and I want to like take them apart and do science to them.
Do science. Sorry.
Does a bartender come over, or does a server, or do we
uh,
need to go up to the bar?
I was just about to say, I think Lady Ross Carter like is about to sit down, but she decides to head over to the bar, and she's going to take a drink order from Rose and Dr. Whitford. I say, what would you two like to drink? It's on me tonight,
Well, that's mighty kind of you. Bourbon if they got it, beer if they don't.
Doctor.
What will you be drinking, Lady Ross Carter?
Chardonnay.
One of those, then.
So I kind of scan over to the bar area. I'll be back momentarily.
You feel like you are so pliant. You haven't felt this good in quite some time, Lady Ross Carter, I will say. Hmm.
Yeah.
And as you approach the barman, he looks painfully familiar, as if from a dream, but you can't remember, you can't recall like where you've seen him before.
Say, do I know you?
Oh, uh, no, we haven't met before. Uh, I'm certain, but I do have one of those faces, you see.
Hmm.
Um,
Perhaps it's one of those faces that'll get me two Chardonnays and a whiskey.
the usual then. Ah,
Yes.
gotcha.
What? What? Hmm? Yeah. Um. Now, I don't recall seeing this bar before. Has it been here long?
Ah, it's always here.
Hmm. Who owns it?
I do. I'm
Oh,
the proprietor of the Night Tap. I am Mr. Chambers.
Mr. Chambers, and I hold out my hand and I introduce
And he
myself.
will take it, instead of like shaking it, he'll like, gently kiss the back of your hand.
Hmm. Well, it's quite busy.
Yes.
You're always this busy?
Yes, we have all sorts, all comers. It is that kind of place where people pass through, just like yourselves.
Hmm. Well, I think I will grab these beverages and pass on.
Absolutely. Do let me know if you need anything else.
Certainly will.
I'll pass you a tray of your drinks as ordered. You didn't see him. You didn't see him pour anything though.
I mean, they were there.
Drinks
I
just
saw.
kind of
Figured they were
drinks
already.
just kind of drinks just kind of like appeared on the like reached under the bar and there they are.
I mean, Lady Ross Carter didn't see anything. I mean, like, maybe they were there already. Who knows? Anyway, you know, she brings him over. Da da da. What would you three like to do while you are here, if anything?
Well, to a success, I'll raise my whiskey. To a successful ritual, I guess. We I think we put a stop to that nightmarish play once and for all. Clink.
I don't think you see Dr. Whitford take a drink, but clinks glasses.
Hmm.
I do wonder what will happen to all those people.
You know, Rose takes a sips of the whiskey, holds it out and like looks at it and says, "I haven't had this since Lady Ross Carter. Did you name what did you name or tell me or tell the bartender what to pour? Because I haven't had this since I was in Kentucky.
Oh yeah. I guess they had the bourbon you were looking for.
No, this is bourbon. This is the bourbon.
Oh.
I haven't had this in years. Not since I came over this side of the pond.
How can you tell?
Oh, you can tell. They're all
Oh,
different.
I can't. How
They're
can
all a little
you?
different. Um, you know, she she savors the nose of this, takes another sip and says, "Well, uh, no, aged in this was aged in French. This was aged in French wine barrels that had once aged red wine um, that had been scorched, and you can tell that just the sweetness is so unlike the whiskeys they make up in the north here and up in Scotland. There's no hint of malt. There's no hint of the peat. There's no hint of the this is and it's this is American corn whiskey like they like it's made nowhere else. Yes, I'm fishing for the vulnerable move.
That's fine.
Doctor, how is your Chardonnay?
She will look at it for a little bit and actually take a sip and go, pleasantly dry. And yours?
Also surprisingly good. I swear this place was not here last time we were here, but the owner seems to say it was. Anyway, so Rose, uh, you used to drink a lot, it sounds like.
Used to? Well, I've actually cut down, believe it or not. Um, but yeah, it wasn't. Let's just say drinking whiskey like this, certain parts of even in America, certain circles ain't it ain't ladylike to drink like this, which is why I liked it which is why I liked it farther out. Which is why I liked it just fine out west, where most people didn't give a rat's ass about that sort of thing.
I
And
wouldn't have thought you cared about being ladylike in any part of the country.
hmm, well, I don't, but well, let's just say there are parts of the country there are parts of America where it's just as stifling as English society. Again, the big place, which is why I went west. There's freedom out there. Freedom where a woman can be whatever she wants to be.
I
Live the
think
life you want.
Dr. Whitford will just laugh at you.
Hmm. Did I say something amusing, Doctor?
I believe we've had different experiences of our own gender, Miss Larrabee. I think she'll leave it at that. I don't think Elinor has any ability to encompass the idea of a woman being able to be anything she wants to be. But it's probably the first time you've just heard, like, it wasn't even bitter. It was just laughter. This is a weird place, and Elinor is feeling weirdly free, I guess. And she continues not to bother to try to be subtle about watching these other people around her at all.
There's this constant feeling of like you recognize the stance of someone that you see in the distance, like like further along in the room. You recognize somebody's walk. You recognize like maybe the tilt of somebody's head, but you cannot place it. You cannot remember from where or from why. And that goes for everyone.
How do you think we ended up here? If this is not a. Are we still in the play?
Well, that might explain all them masks that everyone but us are wearing.
I don't have any way
Unless,
to prove this hypothesis or disprove it,
unless
though.
unless they see us wearing masks, they don't see themselves.
I certainly don't think I'm going to ask any of them. Was the bartender masked?
No,
Okay, only unmasked person.
he seems to be.
Yeah, I think this place is people all around the world talk of thin places that are sort of like between, where the barriers between the worlds are thin. Choctaw used to talk about that. I know, I know the Irish talk about that as well. Um, you know, there's legends all over the world about that sort of thing. I wonder if this is a place that's between the worlds. Because this doesn't feel doesn't quite feel like we're actually in London, does it? And I never heard music like this, even in America.
I think Dr. Whitford eyes will drift back over to what looks to her like an older version of her and Dell talking and be like, they look so happy. And then I sort of look around and like, everyone here looks okay.
If I didn't know any better, because, well, he's been dead for 7 years, I'd swear that guy over there, I used was a member of. I'd swear that guy over there, and she points to a large guy wearing, like a kind of like
Elinor will
a heavy.
smack your hand down. Go, don't point.
Sorry, that guy over there. She just gestures with her head. You know, he is carrying himself like, like you know, like sad one, God, gotta think of a name here. Like Sidewinder Slim. I used to do a trick shooting show with him back in back when we were touring California. Um, he was a he was fast, he was accurate. Um, Frankly, he was a better shot than I was, and many I picked up many a trick from him. Um, God, he's holding, he's carrying himself just like Slim.
I'm guessing Slim didn't have one of these masks.
No, he never wore a mask. He did wear boots the way that guy is wearing though. Like I said, he died 7 years ago.
I'm beginning to suspect that regular rules are not in play here.
Mm. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up on as well.
Conditions?
I think I'd like to clear not your line, both for just talking about, just like we've had conversation. Also,
Hmm.
we did we did conclude the play.
Yeah.
I feel like I could clear either Worlds of Stage or Nothing But the Dark here. Like all three of them are kind of lost feeling, and this feels like an. I guess I'll go for the latest one. I'm going to clear Worlds of Stage.
Okay. Fair, fair, fair. Mm. And just as a reminder, I mean, you could engage with the barman to do a vulnerable move, but that incurs a day move of sorts. So just to be aware when you do a vulnerable move with an NPC, but
Yep.
you don't have to. So, um,
Out of character, I was hoping that I was wondering that, like once we've concluded this scene, I would like to tell the two of you to go on, and I'd like to stick around here for a little while longer to be at a bar out alone at night. I got another move. I got another move. So I got another move I'd like to engage with, if that's okay with the GM.
I mean, I don't care. I mean, like, whoever wants to deal with, like, St. Cecilia's, you know?
Yeah, I think I would eventually like to. I do intend to go back to that, but
If that is the case, then, yeah, I mean, yeah, we're gonna head over to, I think, maybe, like, with a clatter, maybe, like, we see the door open and, you see Gareth Kellogg, like, kind of, like, burst in and he's, like, looking, like, for, looking for you, Lady Ross Carter, and he spots you and he's just like, I'm ready to go, Mom. I've got the carriage ready.
Yes, Gareth, we have been waiting for you.
I, I do apologize.
Do you have the second location?
Yes, I do.
Let's go. Post haste.
oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. That's why we have to take the carriage. Okay, yeah. I guess I won't get a chance to do Cruel's the Harlot's Curse here because I got to do that alone. So yeah, I'll go with y'all to St. Cecilia's.
As you barrel down to get to St. Cecilia's to deal with the gargoyle, which hopefully you remember how you were planning on doing that. The unseen that we're doing for this particular night phase is going to be Night at the Grand Guignol, the Baker's Son, the one that's above the Empire Club. Every class of people in London is represented in the audience at the Theatre Grand Guignol. They have come to watch the newest production, The Baker's Son, a story filled with romance, heartbreak, and bucketfuls of blood. Paint the scene, of course, is for everyone. Second prompt is Mike. Third prompt is Kim. Fourth prompt is Clint. Painting the scene for Grand Guignol. As the limelights pop to life and the crimson curtain is raised, what do we see as our eyes scan the stage that tells us this is the story of a humble baker's son?
Well, I think the backdrop is. I think they've got a, think they've got like the facade. I'm going to go a little on the nose here, but I think it's starting off as a um, it's a street scene is what it's set up, but the you know the largest shop we see of the like of the facade that's been set up on this stage, you know, is clearly a bakery because it's got a big sign that's it's got one of those big sandwich signs that comes out that's got a big loaf of bread on it.
I think the opening musical number is this is a musical, by the way. Now, it's the opening musical number is it's called "If You Can't Stand the Heat, Get Out of the Kitchen." And it's all about how bad the neighborhood is and how everyone wants to get out of the neighborhood, but no one can.
I think that there are some extras very clearly fake eating some giant buns.
Yeah, Gareth Kellogg gets you there in a record amount of time, and deposits you over by Saint Cecilia's. So, what is the plan to rout the demonic presence?
I really should have watched the video of the last session. I, the player, am. I think it had to do with a. I think were we supposed. Did we say we were going to like perform a ritual?
I sadly did not get all the way through the video, so we may have to remake it up.
I mean, you rolled an 11. I'm okay if you want to just kind of skim the clues and make it up. I'm okay with this.
Okay,
I
back.
do have a note that Lady Ross Carter was going to send in the boys. I think it was for this.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah. Yeah.
so, incorporate however you will. But
Would you like to send some boys somewhere, Clint?
Oh, they're joining us. That's one of the things I can.
There, we meet them. We meet them. They're there at the cathedral when Gareth drops us off.
Oh God, there was something quite complicated we had. I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't remember what our story was either. It was like
Well, I haven't
two
yet to
3 weeks
come
ago.
here, so I think I was kind of leaving it up to. I think I was just bringing in the boys just as like backup because it sounded like it was going to get dangerous.
If I remember correctly, we were going to need to fight the gargoyle, break it open to release the spirit that was. Did we
Yeah,
say it was a? Did we say it was a? Did we say it was a spirit or a demon? It's a demon.
it was a
Demon.
demon.
Um, I think we needed to fight the demon, but like do some kind of like ritual to purge the demon from the gargoyle and then banish it. So, and part of that I think was we were going to need to, um, boy, I'm grasping at straws here. And I'm also trying to remember what we actually did because I listened to because I listened to an actual play that dealt with I don't think it was Saint Cecilia's Gargoyle, but I listened to it between actual play not too long ago that was also dealing with like banishing spirits. I'm trying to like
The
figure out what we talked
the
about and
clues
what I heard.
the clues that we used last time were a piece of stained glass covered in viscera. The gargoyle cannot force its way into the church. Muffled echoes of enthusiastic prayer heard through the walls. A story shared by two side characters. A basin of ichor smelling of pine and rose. Wound caused by gargoyles have flecks of mica in them and a tooth lodged in the stone. So there was the implication that there was a cult there. That was where the voices were. They were in another room, and that this demon had like killed some of them or gotten angry with them. That's why the tooth was in the wall. Um, so not only is this gargoyle there, but there's an evil cult. That's why I was like, oh shit, we need to send in the boys as well.
Right. And Rose like was down in the crypts and almost got chased by something or did get chased by something.
Yeah, Rose went down to try to hunt the beast. Like Rose found the ritual chamber that was in the catacombs below the church. There was a side passage that went into the London sewer system. So she was following that, and she was hoping to try to figure out where the beast's lair was, but she realized that it was leading her into a trap, and decided that in this case discretion was the better part of valor, and that she didn't want to end up getting killed in the sewers, and decided to head back up. But she did find like a ritual chamber.
Right, a basin. So, since it doesn't sound like we're going to remember and we're not going to go watch,
Make it
either
up.
we should just make it up. I think that there was a cult that was summoning a demon to do something. Don't know what. Do we have any ideas? Like it was trying to break into the church, right?
Yeah,
And it can't.
the church. Yeah, it can't get into the church.
Actually, I'm gonna argue with that because it was borne
Okay.
out by the fact that what's his face's body was found dripping down onto the pulpit. So
Okay.
Okay.
Unless the
Well,
cult did that,
we said
the cult did it.
we said the gargoyle cannot force its way into the church, but
Oh, it can
presumably
only be invited.
it could have been let in.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
Okay, fair.
So the cult, what does the cult want? Do we have any thoughts about what the cult might want? Something in the church?
What did the
Sure.
cult want?
I will arbitrarily say the cult wanted something for communion wafers.
or some other, or maybe some other relic that's in the church.
Oh, do you think we have some saints' bones that the cult wanted?
That's kind of what I was thinking. Maybe there's maybe there's a relic of Saint Cecilia.
Okay.
Might be a little on the nose, but it's Saint Cecilia's Cathedral. Maybe they've got an ancient relic of Saint Cecilia.
Okay, so the cult wanted a
And
relic. They got a gargoyle to break in for
they
it.
yeah, they summoned a demon because presumably this relic is like magically warded, and they needed a demon to break the wards. So they couldn't just take it.
Okay.
But maybe the cult's lost control of the demon.
Pretty good likelihood. Sure. All right.
They
So
are
And now it's
notoriously hard to take care of.
yeah.
and now it's just kind of like rent. Now it's just kind of wreaking havoc. So
Right.
I think what we needed to do was perform some kind of ritual, confront the gargoyle, and dispel the demon from it.
Yep. All right.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. All right. So next, unseen. Describe Act 1, Mike, in which the baker's son, a young man named Daniel, falls in love with a woman, Dahlia, who he cannot have.
So the bakery is I think we've established the bakery is in a not great part of town, but it's got a great reputation to the point where members of the upper class come here anyway because the bread is just that good. Um, and Dahlia is the daughter of a minor nobleman, and um, Daniel, Daniel has become just utterly smitten with her, and has fallen in love with her in such a way that is typical of characters in musicals. But he cannot have her because he is the son of a baker, and they're pretty poor, and she is she is of the peerage. And there's no way that someone of his humble origins could successfully woo someone of such higher status. So Act One is how Daniel Act One is about how Daniel tries to get her attention and poses as a minor nobleman himself in order to get her attention and to make her fall in love with him.
So basically a reverse of King Thrushbeard or something like that. Shame. All right. Cool. So the plan is, now that you're here at St. Cecilia's, to take out the demon yourselves, because obviously the cult can't do it. Do you think there's anything left of them, or you're just dealing with the demon in the gargoyle suit now?
I
Well,
think the demon got all of them.
Okay.
yeah, I think they're yeah, I think the demon like yeah, I like that. Demon killed the cultists.
Okay.
They weren't very good cultists.
They didn't know what they were doing as to,
Or they were the best cultists.
I guess if they wanted to die at the demon's hands, they did an excellent job.
Yeah. So, yeah. The
They
best or
were
the worst, whatever you want to call it.
right. They
Oh,
were
shit.
I was
some
going to
kind
say
of
I've
exemplary.
read enough Call of Cthulhu modules that I know how that sort of thing goes.
Right. Okay. So, at any rate, basically, you just have to deal with the demon.
Right.
My question is, it's like, how do you want to utilize the boys, and what kind of ritual or what kind of doodad are you doing to make sure that you can corral the demon or corral the gargoyle long enough to get the demon out and banish it?
Do we think just breaking the gargoyle will get the demon out, or do we need to read some Latin at it?
I think we need to.
Latin at it.
I think we need to paint a sigil on it.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
But
Do you want to paint it in the weird bowl of ichor?
We have established that bullets don't. We've established in fiction that bullets don't affect this thing at all. So we really can't fight it. But we need to inscribe some sigils on it.
I will say, because of your 11, I will say, like, what you do find out about it is that, like, blunt objects, blunt weapons will work.
Right. Shooting might not. Sledgehammers.
Yes.
Shooting not working doesn't rule out sledgehammers.
Yeah, smashy works.
Okay.
So
I think that we should invite it into the church and have the boys at the door, and some combination of like bringing it down.
Mm-hmm.
We've I think we can rather easily equip them with like sledgehammers and mauls and pickaxes and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we are using your boys, Lady Ross Carter.
I think the boys are like there as like backup. Like maybe they're the ones that bring in the gargoyle, but we're gonna have to do the heavy lifting, as you said. They're there as a last resort. They're
okay.
I've got them positioned at all the doors and exits.
Okay, I love that.
Do you think that they could throw a heavy-duty sheet over the gargoyle and hold it down while we smash it, or are they not quite that organized?
Or maybe I know. I think Rose will be bait. She'll find it. She's tangled with it before. She knows its scent. She knows how it moves because again they've tangled before. I think she's going to act as bait. She's going to try. She's going to feign that she's trying to fight it by taking a bunch of shots at it. And it's going to fall back into the church, but this time we're going to leave the doors open so that it's going to be able to come in.
I think it wants to come into the church, so we could also just invite it. Like, if you want a climactic showdown, by all means, but I don't know if you have to fight it.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of a climactic showdown, honestly, if that's okay.
That's fine.
Okay. All right. You have baited it. It's into the church, and you see it's heaving self on its four clawed talons and such, and it's bearing down upon Rose, and the boys have shut the doors. Again, like they were stationed at the doors just to make sure that the gargoyle could not get out, or like they were able to shut the doors down as soon as they trapped the gargoyle, and they'll set back and just be back up with some hammers to help protect anybody and themselves, just in case. So,
okay.
All right. So that's what the plan is, and
so I think it's coming at me, which is the plan. And I think what Rose is going to do is, I think, I think she's got like, I think she's got some of the ichor in a, in her satchel. So when it charges when it charges, she's going to do a feint and then try to like lunge at it, grab it around the neck, and basically it's time to ride the bucking bronco, just like in the rodeo. And
I
while
have
she's
to.
on the back, she's going to like while she's on it, she's going to draw that sigil.
All right, well, you're doing a hell of a risky move here, and it's dangerous as hell. So, I gotta ask you for a night move. What do you think will happen if you fail or lose your nerve?
It's gonna. Oh, I think it's going to. Um, yeah, I mean, this is a dragon made out of stone with like razor sharp teeth. It's gonna. I think it's. Yeah, it's gonna bite me severely.
Yeah, it's gonna bite you severely. I mean, the way it's worse is that it could always, like
Like,
claw your mouth open
I
and
was
then
gonna.
like try to possess you.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I like that.
all
I
right.
like that as a risk.
Okay.
Okay,
So, yeah, dangerous as hell. So, all right. So, obviously vitality.
I was gonna say this is vitality. And
Yes.
because I did get a 10 plus on my quickening, I do have advantage on vitality rolls.
Okay.
And my vitality is a 2, so I am going to roll with vitality with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And my vitality is a 2. Let's see what happens. That is a 10.
Nice. All righty. Describe the wrangling of the gargoyle before we hit the third unseen.
Okay, so no. So she's lured it in. She's lured into the church by like taking a bunch of shots at it with her two pistols. Um, is backed into the church and is fired several times from within the church, and it comes in. The boys, the boys slam the door behind it and drop the bar. Um, you know, it like looks behind them, snarls at the boys, and then looks at Larrabee again, and like like leaps at her. She anticipates she feints to go in one way. It goes in that direction, and then she like doubles back, like leaps into the air, grabs it around the neck, and grabs it around the neck, pulls herself onto the back of this thing, and is literally riding it like a bucking bronco, like again, you know, like she did in the rodeo in the Wild West show. Um, like while holding it with her left arm, with her right arm, she takes out the, you know, she takes out the paint. She takes out a small paintbrush that had been dipped in the ichor, and she draws that sigil on the back of the dragon. And as she does, the sigil starts to glow, and that's when she like jump. That's when she jumps off of she jumps off the dragon and rolls away, rolls away under one of the under one of the pews.
Kim.
I imagined that this ichor has made the gargoyle very fragile, like we've somehow turned it from solid rock into something more porous.
Yeah.
And so we can just take a swing and it will crumble.
I mean, like that's. I mean, like it's kind of glowing now. So I mean, like we'll see what that looks like after the third unseen. So
Okay.
Kim, describe Act Two, in which Daniel impotently fights back against the forces that prevent him from being with Dahlia.
I think you see the play version of a montage where Daniel, disguised as a minor nobleman, is broken a couple different times, and you see him like being mocked by a crowd of young noblemen for how he tied his tie wrong, or the quality of his shoes, or someone follows him back to his lodgings and discovers that he lives in that part of town. So his disguise is just being penetrated at every corner, and he's getting further beaten down by it. And there's a sad song at the end where he's just sitting alone, like looking at his bad shoes.
mean, the gargoyle with the sigil on it is now glowing from the sigil, and it looks like now instead of looking like solid rock, the glow is starting to highlight maybe like these tiny cracks that are looking like they are starting to grow. But you're not sure. I mean, they could be. I mean, it looks like there's a light glowing from within, as this sigil is like kind of like almost looking like it's breaking through, like it's creating like a fissure in the gargoyle. So, what would you like to do?
I think
Give me
seeing
the
that Lady Ross Carter is going to exploit that situation and say, send out a call like, "Come on, boys, let's tackle this thing." And I think she's going to like send in the guys to actually start like hammering on this thing
Hmm.
to find some weak points. Maybe even she gets in on it. You know, maybe she starts. She's got a cane or something, and she starts hitting it.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, you still feel energized from your trip to the night tap. You don't feel your aches and pains as much as you did before you had that drink from the night tap. So, like when you heft like the smaller hammer or sledgehammer or whatever, I mean, like you feel like, yeah, I can do this.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know? And yeah, your bully boys are going in and like, just kind of like, taking it at the joint, or like, hitting it at its back, or like trying to aim for the neck or something like that. And like you can see the heads of the hammer part like kind of almost embed themselves a little bit, and then creating more cracks in this thing. So,
I
um
definitely think that Elinor has a variety of blunt implements that she uses to break bodies apart that she has somehow summoned one
oh,
and is,
you have mallets. I mean, like,
yeah.
in your kit you have mallets and shit. So, I mean, like, absolutely. But yeah, if everybody gets in on it and like starts hammering on this thing, it's like, I think yeah, I mean, like, you break this thing apart, and then with a roar there is something that is coming out of it. What does this demon look like as it comes out? And what do you do to contain it or banish it?
Really skilled at the banishing part. Uh, do we know what this gargoyle looked like? Did we describe that at all?
I
The
mean, I
gargoyle
think yeah,
gargoyle's a dragon.
it was a dragon.
Okay.
I'm almost imagining I was imagining sort of like a I was imagining in my head I don't know if I actually said this. I was imagining like sort of like one of the sinuous like Asian like a sinuous Asian dragon that necessarily have wings but could fly anyway. Um, as for what the demon looks like, um, yeah, I think when it comes out, it manifests as this sort of like red mist that comes out, which then coalesces into I think it turned I think some kind of like eldritch horror, like humanoid but eldritch horror. Less less Renaissance painting of a devil and more like something you'd see in like something more like more eldritch horror. That cool?
It's
Did we
fine.
roll well enough that Edgar Tibble can rush in and do something magical? Like,
I
I kind
mean,
of want the deacon to get revenge, or not the deacon, the
yeah.
boyfriend.
Yeah, he was the deacon.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you want, sure. I mean, like, it was 11. I mean, I'll take it if you want to, have him do something and get in on it. Sure. Um,
I just feel like he
but
deserves revenge. I liked him.
sure, but I mean, like, if you want him to do something, I would say that this is dangerous still, because I mean the demon's right there. So, like, somebody's going to be incurring a night move to help Edgar Tibble, like, tackle this. Who wants to make the night move?
I liked him. I hung out with him at a party. I've been rolling well.
All right. So, night move, Doctor. What do you think will happen if you fail or lose your nerve? Like you're trying to help protect him while he's doing what he needs to do, magically, faithfully, whatever.
Right. I
Protect him with science.
get the power of my disbelief. Um, now that Jack's not around to shatter that anymore. I think he'll get hurt.
Yeah, I think the way it's worse is that, like, he'll not only get hurt, but the demon will be able to, like, take advantage of his anger and desire for vengeance and be able to possess him.
Oh, no, not Edgar. Okay.
Save him well. Save him well. Come on, you can do it. Do it.
Okay.
So that's like, unless you've got something to help you with this,
I'm looking at my stuffs.
your stuffs. I mean, like, and you can parlay me. Remember, I'm pretty easygoing. If you parlay me well, I'm okay with this. Because, like, nothing but the dark is going to put you at disadvantage if you don't do something about it.
Right.
Yeah. So this is... How are you going to be protecting him? I want to know. So this way I can tell you what stat you're using.
Okay. I think I will angrily use a small handful of gold teeth that for some reason I know has, like, I'm mad that I know that this is going to work.
Okay. All right.
But I believe they have some sort of, gold has some sort of alchemical power over demons.
Or they've been, like, immersed in salt and iron filings. Who knows?
Who knows? Shaky
Who
Mary
knows?
told me that the work.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like you trust her. For sure. Okay. I'll take it. So basically you're
Okay.
rolling straight with... It's not necessarily reason, even though you're using a physical thing. Composure. Gonna have you work
Okay.
on composure.
Rolling straight with composure.
Yep.
Oh, come on. Please. 9.
All right. With a 9, you succeed. I mean, you'll probably take a condition or something weird will happen, but I mean, you tell me what you do to help Edgar when you do this, when you toss the gold teeth, and then what he does to banish the demon.
I'm trying to figure out if it makes sense to take a mask to make this super successful. I never know how to make that calculus. But
I mean, like, you want to make it extra successful without you incurring any kind of complication or condition, then yes, then you be...
yes, I
But,
will take a mask of the past.
yes, okay. You should be able to do that because you opened up a space. Okay, yes. Go ahead. Mask of the past.
We'll have the climactic fight.
Okay, so... All right. So, yeah, I mean, like, tell me what, how you help Edgar, like, take this thing down and banish it.
I think for whatever reason, Edgar has some sort of trust in me. And so I will, like, he sort of storms out full of passionate rage. Like, he knows the banishing ritual, and then he sees the actual, like, scene in front of him, and his, I guess not bloodlust with the demon, but whatever the equivalent is, sort of fades in the reality of the situation. And I'll be just like, no, you can do this. And I'll sort of, I don't even think like I make a deal of I throw the teeth on the floor between him and the demon, but it's more like I'm telling him he can do this. I'm doing like hands on the shoulders. You've got this.
Amazingly enough, Doctor, maybe your faith is just as strong as the faithful. So, Clint, describe Act 3 in which Daniel engages in a desperate action to get what he wants. The final moment, just before the curtain falls, should be very bloody.
So the final scene, we see Delilah at her wedding to a young man, call him Frederick. And we've got, the stage is full of everyone dressed, and they're in a church. And it's like a old country church. Uh, just a big wooden box, basically. We see Daniel has taken on one of the jobs as a cook or baker at this event, and we see Daniel sneak into the back door as the ceremony is going on, and we see him barricade the door, and we see him strike a match, and we see him drop the match down this little hole in the ground, and to the audience we see all this flame grow up underneath, and then he stands up in the back and he yells out, Delilah, I loved you. I did everything. And just like this big long monologue as the room starts to heat up. And then the walls start to catch on fire and everyone starts to panic and stampedes each other as they were trying to get out of this one door cathedral or church out in the middle of nowhere. And I think they were very this theater was very high tech, and they had like one of the early integrations of a smoke machine, and they just filled up this whole theater with this smoke, and it just caused the whole audience to start gasping. So not only was the uh, actors and everyone on stage coughing, like the audience was like hacking and like really having trouble breathing. The end.
Yes, just like the menu. Yes.
And someone shouts fire.
Yeah, exactly.
And he bakes everyone alive.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, I mean, Edgar knows the banishing ritual as he yells out the words that will send the demon back. What do you all see as the demon leaves this plane?
I think the demon, the demon was about to bear down on. I'm sorry, what was the deacon's name again?
Edgar?
Edgar. The demon is about to bear down on Edgar, but then he starts chanting this ritual, and um, the demon like recoils and like makes this unearthly shriek as it staggers backward as like a different colored lights start to appear like from beneath its skin.
It let out this like really high pitched metallic sounding scream.
I think there is the tiny tornadoes, whatever they're called, dust devils, I think maybe. And like it's spinning tighter and tighter and tighter until it just doesn't exist anymore.
The wind whips around, like, around you, and maybe, like, there's some kind of debris from somewhere, and, like, you, like, try to shake, protect your eyes and your faces and everything like this, because there's still the debris from the broken gargoyle pieces and everything. And, maybe the bully boys, like, like, will kind of, like, help protect the rest of you as well. And, yeah, when you turn back after the wind dies down, you don't see the gargoyle anymore, and Edgar falls to his knees and looks exhausted, but content. And I think the last thing that he says to you before you close out of St. Cecilia's is, I think it's gone. And when you come out of St. Cecilia's, you see the beginnings of the fingers of dawn going across the sky. And Gareth will greet you all and say, "Ready to be brought home, Mum?"
That would be lovely.
Excellent. And close out of that, and I will give you rewards for both King in Shadows as well as St. Cecilia's. So let me pop them into the Discord, actually, so this way you can see it regardless. Here we go. All right, so this is for King in Shadows. So I'm just going to read off the King of Shadows thing. Mask of Comedy, you narrate a flashback to a time you were ridiculed for defying the expectations of a social role you occupied. You can get the Mask of Tragedy, narrate a flashback to a time you took pleasure in the suffering of someone else. A featureless gold mask from the Night Tap, add it to your personal quarters. Your script has been rewritten. Unmark a Mask of the Future or clear a permanent condition. A memento from the investigation. Ask another hunter what it is and then add it to your personal quarters. So you have out of those 5 things to pick from King in Shadows. And then while you're picking, I'm gonna post the Saint Cecilia stuff. Let me get those. So pick out what you want.
So if, for example, we were to unmark the Cosmic Passage, we could remark it and get another point of sensitivity?
I'm
I feel like
guessing
you would revert back to what you previously had. Like whatever that initial thing was.
So you undo it and redo it.
Yeah, it
That's
doesn't
what
say.
I would think.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't say specifically, so, I mean, whatever
But
the
yeah,
mood
actually,
is.
yeah, good point. Yeah, you just
I mean, I would imagine you could definitely, like, mark it again. I mean, it's giving you an out where you can mark it again if you want to, sure.
Okay, with you, I think I'd like to take the featureless gold mask from the Night Tap.
Okay.
And so taking the Mask Tragedy is a thing you could narrate and bump a roll up?
yeah. It'd
Yep.
be another
It's
mask.
It's another mask that you now have access to.
Yeah.
And only me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Because basically it's like it's one, but you just have to fulfill the prompt.
Okay.
Yeah. So you want that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take that.
All right. And there you go. And I will read off the rewards from St. Cecilia's. Give me a second. All right, so St. Cecilia's rewards. O'Donnell's Crucifix, blessed in holy water. Father O'Donnell becomes a recurring side character. You get 1 extra clue on the information move when you attend confession with him and ask for guidance in the spiritual. A fang, a claw, or other appropriate natural weapon from the gargoyle. A memento from the investigation. Ask another hunter what it is and then add it to your personal quarters. Another memento from the investigation. Ask another hunter what it is and then add it to your personal quarters. And there was like somebody that I don't think you guys met, so you don't get that particular reward. But if you met Cyrus, then you would get them as a recurring side character. But since you didn't, you don't get that. That one's out. So I'm gonna take
The one that appeals to me is because we established in this threat that Rose is actually Catholic. I would like to take the Father O'Donnell reward.
Crucifix or him as a recurring...
Oh, I'm sorry. Father O'Donnell becomes a recurring side character.
Okay, no problem. Put them in the records tab as the move. It's kind of, yeah. So this way you know what you got.
I would like a memento, please. Cam, any ideas?
How about more of that? How about a vial of that?
The Ichor?
How about a vial of the Ichor?
I was trying to figure out if there's some way you could have a perfume of the same Ichor scent, but the vial of the Ichor seems more straightforward. Let me look at the clues again and see if there's anything especially appealing. A shard of stained glass. Or like a whole panel, so it's not particularly dangerous unless you make it dangerous.
I like shard. That sounds good.
Okay, cool.
A shard of brightly colored glass.
Okay.
What
I
color
too
is
would
it?
like a memento.
You said brightly colored, but what color?
Red. Blood red.
Yeah.
Robes of Christ or whatever.
Yeah.
The red element.
And
Love
you
it.
said you
I
want a
too would
memento.
like a memento from
Okay.
Clint.
Okay.
Um, I think you learned a song from one of the cult members before they passed away. Maybe this song reminded you of a song that you grew up with. You know how sometimes people will like take old melodies and rewrite words to them? It's kind
Mm-hmm.
of that thing where like there's 30 different songs that all have happy birthday tune to them, but it's like that. So you are recalling like a song that you grew up singing.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Alrighty. So, I'm not even gonna go do the individual things. So, did you resolve a threat? Oh hell yeah. Did you answer a question? Oh hell yeah. Echo in the night. If you think you got an echo in the night from any one of the phases, night phases, just add it. And if you fulfilled any of your elective dawn questions in the whole cycle, in the last cycle, then please mark it off and then add all those check marks to your advancement track and then clear your dawn questions and then change your elective dawn questions if you so choose. Okay? Because I have something to ask you. Do you want to try and tackle the mastermind question offline over the next week? Because how you answer it, whether you succeed, you will keep the complexity of the confrontation question the way it is. But if you miss, then that means the confrontation question gets harder.
I like to do it offline. My brain is shot for the day.
Yep. So I will say it for the recording, but I will also post it into the chat. But as a reminder, the mastermind question itself, using the mastermind clues to answer it, is how does the mastermind intend to destroy the crown? A complexity 8. All right. So think on it, like how you want to try and solve it, because again, we'll go over your solution, your answer, like in the beginning of next session, which will be the beginning of the confrontation. Oh boy. Oh my gosh. All right. So, stars and wishes. As you wrap up tonight's wonderful adventure.
I'll go stars. I like this doing the double night face. That was fun. It's an interesting take on it. Uh, wishes. No, I'm just ready to give Pemberton Potts a piece of my mind.
I want to give a star to Kim for narrative chloroform. That was awesome. As for wishes, I'm hoping we're gonna get a chance to use my custom move that I wrote a couple of weeks ago, and still it just hasn't been narratively appropriate. Where I, deliberately take my wear form.
Stars to a frisky Lady Ross Carter whose back doesn't hurt. And Mads, again, all of the player voices. And I don't remember who's like, yeah, we just let it start as part of the play up on stage. But that whole, like, we're going to end the play this way was awesome. Wish, I have, so this double night phase got me two more body parts. So I'm one body part away. So I need to find a corpse to play in. And then I'll have all my child parts. And I'm going to try to wake them whether or not I have all the child parts. Because why not?
Do you want to do that like in the very beginning of the next episode? I mean, if you don't have like all of the parts, you can
I
do
mean,
that. It's just
I know some my completionist heart wants all of the parts, but
that
I'll
just may
think
end up
about it.
becoming a what is it? An epilogue for you. It's like, do you do it or don't you? You know what I mean? It's like,
Right?
eh. So we'll see. All right.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, it's heartbreaking either way. I have my really bad mask of the past to describe, so
Okay.
I think it'll be narratively satisfying either way.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I think that's my big wish.
All right, cool. So, yeah, I mean, good session today. I'm glad we got through the 2 night phases and were able to resolve the uh, the 2 threats, even though we forgot like how the hell you were supposed to resolve the one threat in the first place. But that's okay. I mean, like, if you make it up as you go along, continuity, who cares? It's fine. It's all good. So, stars for getting through that. And again, narrative chloroform is always a beautiful line. That's great. And yeah, I mean, like, it's always wonderful when you guys just kind of like just go through it and there's good flow, and it just seems like, oh, this is the true night phase where it seems pressured but and it goes quickly, but yet things get done. um Wishes, just want to can't wait to see what you think of for putting those clues together and answering the mastermind question. I'm curious to see if you're going to be able to use all of the clues. And remember, you do have that TBD to put your thumb on the scale if you want, to add to your theory, your answer. And yeah, I'm curious to see like what do you think her plan is, and want to see how you do for the confrontation. So, anybody have anything else they want to add for tonight? Okay. Thanks, guys. You have a
I
wonderful
know.
rest of the week, and I will see you next time. All right. So just
Take
pick up
care,
the
all.
clues. Take care.
Take care, everyone.
Happy gaming. All righty. See ya. Bye.